Happening now, we're tracking yet another winter storm that's eyeing western New York this weekend. We have the latest forecast and preparations underway across our region. And a look at the push to increase salaries for election officials in Jamestown. Plus, Jamestown's largest food drive continues today. We check in with the Holiday Haul and how its charitable efforts to support the St. Susan Center in Jamestown.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, with a winter storm on the horizon this weekend, let's get right to our first defense weather forecast with our very own Dakota Hunter joining us here. And Dakota, we've had some rain and ice yesterday, but now with the temperatures well below freezing, we're expecting a blast of that lake effect snow, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Such as the tides turn here. We go from ice to sleet to lake effect snow. But I wanted to show you this beautiful picture over Chautauqua Lake from the Chautauqua Lake Association Skycam. And I wanted to show you that little peak in the cloud cover right there. I thought the cloud formation was really cool there. So just wanted to show you that. Now we did get a little bit of snow through the overnight hours, just 0.3 of an inch in Gary, 1/10 of an inch in Franklinville, and nothing more than a trace on the ground in Faulkner and Kennedy. And if you don't know what a trace means, it means barely measurable. So there was just enough on the ground to measure it this morning. First defense Doppler radar with the satellite composite, pretty quiet for now, but we are going to see a few snow showers through the afternoon. But the big story really is going to be this weekend. So we have a lake effect snow warning in place for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. This starts tonight and runs all the way through 1 p.m. on Monday. So this is going to be a long duration lake effect snow event. And in terms of the impacts, it's really going to be a high snowfall type of event, and travel, especially if you're going to the Bills game on Sunday, that likely could be tricky as you're traveling up 90. That will likely be a rough go on Sunday, and there will be some limited blowing snow as well. The wind gusts are not going to be too extreme, but there will be enough wind to blow some of that loose snow around. We only made it to 34 yesterday, started the day at 32. 60 and 8 below zero are the records. So as we go hour by hour through the afternoon, we'll see a light snow flurry or snow shower through the afternoon. Temperatures holding steady in the lower 30s with an overall light southwest wind. Now, later on in the show, we will show you future scans for that lake effect snow and potential totals coming up in a few minutes. Bronson?
All right, thank you, Dakota. Be sure to stay ahead of the storm by following our team's latest on our social medias. The Jamestown Salary Review Commission has recommended that the City Council, Council President, and Mayor need a salary increase. The committee suggested the council get a raise from $5,000 to $7,500, the president from $6,000 to $9,000, and the mayor to get an increase in salary from $72,000 to $80,000. Members, including Tage Hall, spoke on how this pay raise is long overdue.
Comparative even to our area, it's underpaid. You know, we all kind of came to that agreement that these positions are certainly underpaid. So we took that seriously, and we believe that this time is right.
The city council has not had a salary raise since 1984, and the mayor since 2008. Corporation Council and Commission member Elliot Raimondo also spoke about what their salary should look like if it kept up with inflation.
Just with inflation, city council members, if we were paying them with inflation, would make $14,000 today, as well as have city health care. Obviously, city council does not have city health care, and they're not making $14,000. The mayor would be at $101,000 if we kept up with inflation throughout all of these years.
If passed, these pay raises will not take place immediately. Instead, it would be applied at the beginning of the next term in January of 2024.
These salaries and these numbers will not go into effect until later on. It will affect no one in this room. We won't be voting on giving ourselves a raise per se. These numbers will only take effect after election cycles, if people are voted back in or new people are voted in. Then those raises, if they're voted on and they come to fruition, they would impact those new members.
While the council had to hear from the committee by the end of the year, they did not have to vote on the recommendation right away. And from talks of the city council, There will be talks and a possible vote in January of 2023. Well, Amy Poehler has joined the National Comedy Center's Advisory Board of Directors. The actress, writer, producer, and director joins a roster of creative talent who helps guide the center's mission to present the vital story of comedy. Poehler is filling the advisory board seat formerly held by talent manager George Shapiro, who passed away earlier in the year. Amy Poehler said that she is honored to be joining the National Comedy Center's board. Poehler is known for her 8 years as a cast member and writer on Saturday Night Live, and for her time as a lead actor, producer, and writer on Parks and Recreation. Comedy Center had more than 50 interactive exhibits and immersive experiences. Well, Jamestown's largest food donation drive continues today in an effort to support Jamestown's only soup kitchen, the St. Susan Center. Our Justin Gould is on assignment and joins us now live from Brooklyn Square here in Jamestown with more on how collection efforts are going. Well, Justin, I see a truck behind you. How's it over there?
Yeah, Bronson, good afternoon to you. It's going really well here. Day 2 of the holiday haul, and as you can see, the goods are already piling up from so many generous people in the community. As over the 3 days here, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, folks from all across Chautauqua County are turning out to help the St. Susan Center. Now, one of the 2 men who are definitely behind this is Keith Martin with the Northwest Arena. And Keith, this is your 10th year of putting on the holiday haul along with Dan Keefe as well. What does it mean to you guys to give back, and what brings you out every year to do this event?
Well, it's just the unbelievable support of our community, and we just, our job is just to kind of spread the word about the great work that St. Susan's does, and this, our 3 days here is just a tip of the iceberg of what they need for 365 days of operations. They serve 120 meals a day, every day, 365 days a year. And so what we do here, what we probably gets them through February and March, to that. So it gets them a kickstart into the new year, but they need our support, year round.
And already in just 24 hours of collecting donations, you really started to fill up the truck. Yesterday, you mentioned you were battling the weather a little bit, but how has turnout been? It looks like there's a couple full bins.
Yeah, it's been great. First of all, to the community, thank you so much. Everything that you have done for 9 years, going into our 10th year now, and then yesterday, braving the weather. I mean, as I said to you off air, it was probably the 3rd worst day in the 10 years that we've done this, and it was a tough day, but people still came out, and we had a wonderful group from Purcell Middle School come over and donate almost 3,000 pounds of supplies. So it's just a kickstart. Our goal is to do 1 pound more than we did last year and $1 more than we did last year. We did 6.5 tons last year and $24,000, and hopefully we can match or beat that goal this year.
And you're filling such an important need, not through you, but through the community, as you mentioned. It's incredible to hear about those middle schoolers. Folks have through tonight and then into tomorrow afternoon to stop down here at the Jamestown Cycle Shop parking lot in Brooklyn Square to donate. What are some of the things just off the cuff that you guys are looking for?
Well, their needs are across the gamut. Canned fruits, canned vegetables, juices, coffee, plastic utensils, paper products, napkins, paper towels, and those type of things. But monetary donations and checks go a long ways to St. Susan's. They go to Western New York Food Bank to get supplies, and for every $1 donated, they can go to Western New York Food Bank and get $7 worth of food by going to Western New York Food Bank. But also another thing is what the Western New York Food Bank does not offer is milk. So they have to go to the grocery store just like you and I to purchase milk every other day. And so those donations, cash or check, go to their operations so that everybody has a healthy meal.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're going to stay out here and join you once again, Bronson, a little bit later on in the show to talk more just about the need of all of this because it really is filling a great need. News Now at noon continues right after this.
All right, Justin, thank you. As WNY News Now continues, we take a look at preparations ahead of a winter snowstorm this weekend, not just here in Western New York, but across New York State as well. And later, why jobless claims have fallen to their lowest level since September. Stay with us. It's WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul is urging New Yorkers to take caution from the heavy statewide snowstorm that is already well underway in some parts of the state. Our New York State Capitol correspondent Elise Klein was on the ground at a storm briefing with state leaders, and she tells us what they want New Yorkers to know about this storm.
At a storm brief today, state leaders assured New Yorkers that resources are in place to keep the roads clear, manage possible fallen power lines, and combat the heavy snow and winds.
We'll be ready for this. New York is ready, as we always are, but we're ready. Bring it on. Mother Nature.
The bottom line is that we're prepared for this storm, and we're shifting assets accordingly. We've got enough plow drivers and plows.
The snow has already started and will continue into Saturday at about 1 to 2 inches per hour. Hochul says she is concerned about the winds from this storm. She adds she understands that many New Yorkers are worried about power outages in these cold temperatures.
It's this bitter cold. The scariest thing for a mom with little kids, as happened to me, is to be sitting there with no heat in your house.
But Hochul says there are about 6,500 utility workers on the ground ready to tackle the heavy snowfall with plows, heaps of salt, and tools to repair fallen power lines. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
While New York is banning the sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits in pet stores, Governor Kathy Hochul signed the legislation to stop abusive breeders. The new law also allows pet stores to charge animal shelters rent to use their space for pet adoptions. New Yorkers will still be able to purchase dogs from responsible breeders after the law goes into effect in December of 2024. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill to allow Puerto Rico to decide their future on a non-U.S. territory. The bill would allow Puerto Ricans to decide if they want statehood independence or sovereignty and free association with the U.S. The House passed the legislation on a 232 to 191 vote. Lawmakers on both sides debated this issue on the House floor. Those for the legislation argued it's a huge step forward towards Puerto Ricans' decolonization, but others against this bill are concerned of economic implications of charging Puerto Rican status. Puerto Rico's resident commissioner encouraged House members to vote this legislation onto the floor.
Territorial condition constrains the island's ability to prosper and has relegated the island into an indefinite second-class status when compared to the 50 states. And this is the main reason behind social, economic, and fiscal challenges we have faced, forcing a mass exodus of millions of Puerto Ricans to the mainland in search for that equality.
Puerto Rico has been under U.S. control since 1898. The island's residents are citizens, but they don't pay federal income taxes since they don't have voter representation in Congress. They also don't have access to federal programs like SSI, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, and more. Legislation the House passed will move to the Senate for consideration if passed. Puerto Ricans will decide their fate in November. Jobless claims have fallen to their lowest level since September. Data released Thursday shows the number of people seeking unemployment benefits for the first time dropped 211,000 from the previous week. That's 20,000 fewer claims when economists were experiencing claims to rise. Consumer spending has also fallen in November. U.S. rental sales dropped by 0.6%, according to the Commerce Department, a sign that consumers are pulling back on spending, and amid continued inflation woes, it is the sharpest decline in spending all year. Economists were predicting a drop of just 1%. A federal judge is pausing the Biden administration's effort to terminate the Trump era Remain in Mexico policy. Thursday's ruling comes amid preparations for the end of a different immigration restriction, Title 42. Amy Kiley reports on what it all means for people seeking asylum.
It's a blow against the Biden administration for now, but it's not over.
A federal judge in Texas is preserving one Trump-era immigration policy just as another is set to end. The so-called Remain in Mexico policy prevents migrants seeking asylum from waiting in the U.S. during that process. The U.S. Supreme Court initially ruled President Joe Biden had the authority to get rid of it, but it sent the case back to the lower court.
Right now the question is, did they do it properly under the APA? There are notice provisions, public comment provisions, they're specifically spelled out ways that you can enact policy under the Administrative Procedures Act.
The judge ruled against the White House yesterday. Analysts say the administration likely will appeal and request a stay.
If they get that, we'll go back to where we were before.
Meanwhile, Title 42 is set to end next Wednesday. It largely bars asylum seeking at the southern border, citing public health. Yesterday, the Biden administration unveiled this 6-point plan to prepare for the expected migrant surge. Already, a senior border official reports an influx in the El Paso sector. The mayor of that city says crossings could reach 5,000 a day starting next week. This Venezuelan mother says if her family gets a new life in the U.S., the first thing they'll do is thank God. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
19 GOP-led states have asked an appeals court to keep Title 42 in place. They've asked that panel to intervene no later than today. Well, coming up, we introduce you to a feathery friend today that's up for adoption at the Chautauqua County Humane Society. And later, we check back in with Justin at the Holiday Hall, a food drive to support the St. Susan Center here in Jamestown. But first, we return with a full look at our full weather forecast when WNY News Now returns.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
There are two silver linings here. One, that no injuries were reported, and two, they were able to contain the fire from spreading further.
Western New York has a new congressional member representing them.
One of the things that made Betty White so unique was the fact that she connected generations of fans throughout the decades. Take a look at the display here.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
This is a First Defense weather alert.
Hello there. Hello. Test. There I am. Ooh, okay. Wanted to start off with a look at the ski resorts because we're going to be adding some snow onto those ski resorts pretty soon. Peak and Peak, 12 to 24 inch bases. Holiday Valley, 4 to 20. Mount Pleasant and Hollymont still plan to open this week, and we are going to add some snow for them as we go throughout the weekend as well. So that'll definitely be some good news if you like to ski or snowboard. It was a windy day yesterday. 31 miles an hour was the peak wind gust at the Jamestown airport, and some spots saw a gustier day than that, but here in the city, 31, so it still was breezy and it made it feel colder than that, of course, with that freezing rain coming down. We have a big rig parked outside of our studio right now for some reason, I don't know why. 35 degrees right now with a west wind of 9, the wind chill down to 28. That's what it feels like when you combine the air temperature and the wind together. Here's the big story, a lake effect snow warning in place for pretty much of the southern tier, Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. This starts tonight and goes all the way through Monday at 1 p.m. So as we mentioned, this is going to be a long duration lake effect event. You can see that this big storm system way up here in the upper Great Lakes in the Midwest, this is all in association with it as that front moves on through. You know what that's going to do, shift those wind directions and set up that lake effect snow machine. Here it is for you on the newest run of Future Scan. We are going to see maybe a few light snow showers or snow flurries through the afternoon. Those are the no big deal type of snow flurries, but you can already see here by 2 a.m. some evidence of that lake effect starting to set up. There may be a quick burst of lake effect snow, mainly across the northern section up towards the Buffalo Metro, but as we go through the day on Saturday, this is when that lake effect band really starts to get organized, and you see those darker blues. That starts to indicate the heavier amounts of snowfall rates. And again, this is a computer projection, so it's not going to look exactly like this, but you're getting the idea of where the heavier snow will be, likely from the central portion of the southern tier northward. Once again, by the time we go into Sunday, the lake effect snow is going to be sagging southward. So again, if you are traveling on 86 or 90 over the weekend, prepare for extra time because it likely will be a rough go. In terms of the snowfall projections through Monday, yeah, we could be looking at about a good foot or more, especially across the higher elevations north of the southern tier, especially in southern Erie County and the Boston Hills. Once you get across the southern tier, we're still looking at about a good 3 to maybe 10 inches in spots. But again, the heavier totals will likely be found northward. Now, if you want a peek at Christmas, here's something that's going to be coming in by Christmas Day. Notice this big dip here that is called a trough. That is going to surge in much colder air from Canada. And I think Christmas Day, it's too early to put a number on it, but I think Christmas Day is going to be cold. Now the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So the next 3 days are highlighted in red, just to let you know, for that lake effect snow potential. We still hang on to a few lake snow flurries Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but temperatures, Bronson, remain well below average in the mid to upper 20s.
Well, it's going to get cold and it's going to look like December. In other news, part of our week segment, in an effort to help animals find their forever home, WNY News Now has been partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society in a segment called the Pet of the Week. Brian Papalea has more about this week's featured feathery friend.
It's Brian here at the Chautauqua County Humane Society, and we have Pets of the Week this week for Western New York News Now. We have Lightning, who's 4 years old. He's a parakeet. And we have Fluffy, who's 3 years old. They're two birds with two very different personalities. Lightning, he's got some spark to him. He may headbutt you if you put your hand in to kind of get to know him, but he will warm up to you, and he does let you kind of pet his feathers a little bit and stuff. So in a home, he's probably going to do even better than that. Fluffy, on the other hand, is a little more nervous, a little shy, but with some time, will warm up to you as well. So if you've not had parakeets before, I'd urge you to talk to our adoptions counselors, and they can give you some great information, and you can learn more. And if you do have birds and want to add to the family, well, here they are. So you can find out more at chqhumane.org, or you can stop by the shelter. Today we are open from 1 to 5:30. Tomorrow we're open 11 to 3. And this is, of course, these adoptions being part of our Season of Hope adoption drive, trying to get 100 animals into foster or adoptive homes by next Friday. Right now, we're all about 60, last I saw. So we need some help to get to the 100. Find out more about everything, chqhumane.org.
Well, Brian, thank you. As much as I wish you could have came in with those lovely birds, man, I'm a bird person, I think. Well, next we're going to check back in with one of our area's largest food donation drives, which continues this weekend. Our Justin Gould, still in downtown Jamestown. I don't know how it is out there. Hope it's not snowing yet. Well, according to this camera, it doesn't look like it.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
No. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Thank you for joining us with WNY News Now. And let's get a check back in with how food drive efforts are doing in downtown Jamestown. Our Justin Gould is down there, and it looks like you're actually in the truck this time, Justin.
Yeah, Bronson, we're in the truck checking out the hall so far, and donations are really coming in. Joining us now is Sherry Rowland with the St. Susan Center. And what does this mean to you guys? Because I know the demand is at the all-time high.
It is an all-time high, and we will be able to take care of our folks that come in to have meals every day through the end of March with this haul. Yes.
That really is incredible. Folks can continue to donate through the weekend, through tonight through, I believe, 6 o'clock, and then Saturday, 2 o'clock here.
Yes.
What types of things, I know we talked to Keith about it, but what types of things are you guys looking for the most?
We're looking for, right now, we're looking for juice, 100% juice in the bigger bottles. And we're also looking for plastic spoons, plastic forks, and paper goods, napkins, paper towels, and that sort of stuff.
And if they don't know, I mean, you already have a ton of cans. It seems like there's a whole variety of soups, of peas, of just things that could go for a long time.
It sure does. Vegetables we use in our soups, and we also have vegetables every day, so they come in pretty handy. And then, of course, the fruit in the can is as well. Fruits and canned vegetables are perfect.
Yeah, certainly. So again, donate through tonight, Friday at 6 o'clock, and then Saturday as well until 2 o'clock right here at Brooklyn Square, the Jock Shop parking lot. Sherry Rowland, thank you very much. Bronson, will send it back into you.
All right, thank you, Justin. And that's all the time that we have for today. It's pretty nice out there, at least for now, so go enjoy it before that lake effect snow comes in. We don't exactly like that, but we'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. We'll see you next time